Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we just got finished watching Matrix Resurrections, and I don't know how I'm gonna start this. I want to review it. I'm going to review it. Um, Let me just start off strong. I'll just get right to the point. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I gave it higher than what most people have given it. What most of the, what the consensus is. I've given it a little higher than that because um, I made a video about this prior, and I was saying that one of the things it can do to be great is but it wasn't a great movie. But I said one of the things it can do to be great, for at least for me, because it was my list, so obviously it's my biased opinion. But I was like, action. I need action. You know what I'm saying? And it gave me a lot of action, man. I even liked I liked parts of the story. I didn't like all the story, but I liked most of the story. Um, I liked that. I liked the idea that they had. I liked the idea that they had the robots fighting one another. Apparently, in the story, there is a civil war. I mean, while I'm talking about this, just chime in whenever you want to. My wife's in here. Just chime in whenever you have a strong opinion or idea that you want to get across. But I like that they I'll put spoiler in this video. But I like that they had a war between the robots, man. It was like, wow, that's interesting because they're always at war with us, with humans. And so, apparently they're running, there's scarce resources amongst the robots in their world. And so, like us, humans, they're fighting over the resource. You know what I'm saying? So that was an interesting paradox right there.
I really liked not only did they have the, the scene where they were talking about when the machines fought the machines, but they also actively have positive connections between humans and machines.
Right.
Right? Like the only interaction was like human to machine bad, and now they have machine against machine and machines and humans like coexisting together.
Because there was to go any further, I like to say, how I feel about the movie should not dictate how you feel about the movie, about going to see the movie. No matter what I say, go see the movie for yourself, because the Matrix, like, just story is abstract. And so it makes you think on an individual level. So go see it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Did I get that across right? Like, go see it for yourself because you're going to feel how you feel about it. I'm going to feel how I feel about it. That's just what it is.
Because different people are going to latch on to different themes because there's so many undertones and connections and little pieces that are like, driving towards different directions. So people are going to see different things out of this movie in addition to the great action and the great love story.
Like I was thinking earlier, the older material, the older parts, the older stories of the Matrix, like from the animation movies and the literature, it really does a good job of explaining how it was for the humans and the robots when the robots became self-aware. It really did it. The animation really did a good job of showing that story. Like when they became two different, races, basically, the human race and the machine race. And, there was peace for a time, there was tension, but there was peace for a time, and then they had that battle, and then, the humans blotted out the sun, and the robots used them as their new power source and made them batteries. And I like how this new movie, like I said, I like how it showed the robots fighting the robots, but I thought also that they should have showed more
of that fight scene.
Because I'm like, that seems really like it's cool. Really important.
Yeah.
Because
there was such a tiny flashback. It was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long.
I mean, because for me, I mean, maybe I didn't pay attention enough, but is that so? That conflict is completely just. There's resolution in that conflict. It was.
I think so.
Like,
I think that happened.
Because Neil Patrick Harris kind of gives Neil Patrick Harris's character, who's like the new one in charge, seems like it's all taken care of, and he's trying to clean it up and do
right, because he's found like the best way to
his
utilize
things.
them as a power source.
Right.
So if he was able to do that, that means that they're not under war anymore. They might have just been out of war because they said it was 60 years.
Or at least
that war might have happened like right after the third video.
Yeah, it sounds like Neil Patrick Harris's character was a robot that
he's the
kind of stopped that
architect of
that
the
put
Matrix.
That put a lid on the rebellion, so to speak, and took over. What else was I about to say? You know, one thing that I was talking about with my wife, that this movie did a whole bunch of fourth wall breaking, and I knew it was gonna do it because I seen it in the trailers, but they kept doing it. I mean, it was stretching for such a length of time that it was starting to annoy me, and I was like, when are they gonna get to the point where this monk wakes up and we get down to business? And I really did like when they, broke that fourth wall. I mean, got rid of it, and it's like, okay, we're gonna be a linear story now. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be doing this whole in and out of, is it really happening? Is it you know what I'm saying? And all this stuff all these various things were moving around when in the story a little bit in the beginning there. My mother-in-law said it was, she was slow there. She said it was slow. Yeah, it was.
Started slow.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I was like, all right, man, what we doing? But then once it was a fight in the building, and he can no longer deny that this was like some illusion that he was being told was all in his mind, or some. Once he got out of that, he was like, I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, now this is for real. He seen Morpheus in the bathroom, and he was like, no. But once stuff started blowing up, I was like, yeah, this is real. And then he woke up, and then I was like, yes, he's unplugged now. Let's go. What's the task? What's the task for Neo in this version of the Matrix? And at this present time for him in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What does he have? What is he going to do? You know what I'm saying? And because him in the Matrix, it's like yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? Neo's the balance. The Matrix is the motherfucking control. I don't know. That shit's crazy. But he said you didn't like the ending.
I just felt like they just Supermaned away. It felt unnecessary.
Yeah, man. They
did
the Wonder Twins. Did they just?
Yeah, like they just like.
They blew away like the one.
They just like threatened him. They just threatened
the
architect, and then just like.
I don't even know if the Wonder Twins fly away, but it seems like
it was very much so like Superman there, and I was like. Okay, I mean, like, I see what you did there, like, I'm fine with this, but, like, that's just a weird way to end the movie. Yeah. I really do feel like that's why
it kind of felt like
didn't get, that's one of the reasons why it didn't get a higher score.
It kind of felt like that
ending was kind of like, what? And even the cut scene after the post-credit scene, after all the credits, that was weird, too.
Yeah.
Cat Matrix, like...
Yeah.
Okay, I get it too, but
I probably would have never brought that up if you didn't bring that up. I was just like, okay.
It just, and I feel like it was a really good movie, and then it just kind of like tripped a little bit at the end, and I was like, okay. And then the post-credit scene was just wackadoo, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, man,
So, that's why it's a 7. and not higher.
There was a lot going on in that movie, and it definitely had. I guess I'll say real quick the things I didn't like about it. I didn't like that it didn't expound upon the war between these robots, seemingly because there's less energy because there's less energy. The robots fought because there was less energy because Neo was no longer in the Matrix, right?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't know the answer to that either.
Because I haven't seen Matrix 2 or Matrix
Because
3
in this
in a
one,
while,
because
so I don't know how Matrix 3 ends.
Because for a fact, we can say that once Neo was unplugged in this one, they said that caused a lower power.
Right.
Right? That caused lower power, and so they had to latch all their, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, all their links to
Right.
Trinity, because she was now the main power source that they were, funneling energy from.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at that concept. I actually like that concept because it makes you think. It goes back to, they want to use you for batteries. You know what I'm saying? What's the most powerful resource in this? It's Neo. He brings the balance. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least in the old ones you could say that. It was simpler to say that. He brought the balance.
But Trinity is what grounded him in the other ones too. So it makes sense that Trinity would play a huge role.
Right. And then they expound upon that. They even fused that idea, that thought even closer, and cemented by saying, in this one, you guys need each other. Together,
but
together.
they can't be so close that they start controlling energy.
Together,
right? Because as soon as they touch, they create sound waves.
Together, they're stronger.
Right.
But when they're apart,
they're just barely apart.
When they're apart, when they're very far apart, they're not useful.
Right. So there's a balance.
And that's what Neil Patrick
two.
Harris said. The robot, the supercomputer, basically. Yeah. I think that, yeah. But you guys have a good one, man. There's so much to talk about with the Matrix, man, and it's late, and it's just like if we keep this up, we'll be talking about this all night, and
it'll never stop.
It'll never stop. It will never stop with the Matrix. Nope. People, even though people hate this, they're gonna still talk about this for years. Yeah. But y'all have a good one.